Hey, it's Tigman. Time for this week's edition of the Metal Box, our weekly discussion on all things hard rock and heavy metal. Another album anniversary this week. You know, 1987 saw a lot of huge albums. Of course, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. That comes to mind, along with Motley Crue, Girls, 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 Whitesnake, the self-titled album, also known as the 1987 album. But probably the biggest album of the year, I would say, would have to have been this one right here. And I still have the cassette all these years later. Def Leppard, Hysteria, huge album. It went to #1 on the US Billboard 200 chart, along with the UK albums chart. 25 million copies sold worldwide, 12 million in the US alone. It was produced by Mutt Lange, the legendary rock producer. The album had like a staggering 7 singles released off of it. Of course, you had Hysteria, the title cut, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Women, Rocket, Armageddon It, Animal, and Love Bites. I mean, there you have it. 7 huge singles, and the songs were all over the radio all summer long. The videos were all over MTV. Everybody had this album, and it was just amazing stuff. And the album, it came out August 3rd, 1987, so we're celebrating the 30th anniversary, and they've decided to put out a brand new 30th anniversary expanded reissue, which is like, it comes out in all different forms, including a big box set, which has like a bunch of CDs and some live cuts and some bonus material. So you're gonna wanna pick that up. That's out everywhere today. The 30th anniversary reissue of Def Leppard's Hysteria. But I tell you, 1987, it brings me back to a good time, a fun time, and that Hysteria album was just one that everybody loved. And yes, I still have the cassette. Look at this. All these years later, 30 years later, and I didn't even wear it out. Although I feel I wore it out, but it still actually plays, I believe. I haven't put it in the cassette deck in years, but it looks pretty good. So there you have it. Def Leppard, Hysteria. Cheers, 30 years later. That'll do it for this week's edition of the Metal Box. Thanks for tuning in. The rock and roll limo has arrived. We'll see you next week.